what types of books our children do or should read.
Join me for further discussion of Focus Point.
Huda, a light in every home.
It comes to you the truth and the attribute of the one who created you, that he's one and alone running this universe, that he doesn't become born, he doesn't die, he doesn't eat and then go to the bathroom. This is not God.
The problem here is it doesn't make sense. Who was Jesus worshiping? Because it's recorded in the Gospels. Despite all of the other issues about the Gospels, we put those aside. We just say it's mentioned there that Jesus worshiped God.
One who protects us from hunger.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. You're watching Ask Huda. Just a quick reminder of our telephone numbers 00-202-38555 248 or 249, or you can write to us at ask, that's ask@huda.tv. Okay, Dr. Waleed, Brother Saleh from Switzerland, he says, is wudu a condition for reading the Quran?
Is wudu a condition for reading the Quran? Bismillah. There is a different opinion between the scholars about this issue as well. But all the scholars agree on one thing. It is recommended for the person to have wudu while reading the Quran. But it's not obligation. It's not obligation to have wudu while you're reading the Quran, inshallah ta'ala.
Okay, and Brother Muhammad from Mauritania, he says, if a woman whose husband has no work and she is the sole breadwinner of the family, does she have the right to stop making children?
Say that again.
Okay, the woman, her husband doesn't have any work. She's the sole breadwinner. She's the one who earns for the family.
Yes.
He wants to know if she has the right to stop making children.
First of all, delaying having children. This is a decision must be done in coordination between the husband and the wife. It's not her solely decision or his decision. Number two, to say that I'm not going to have children at all, completely, for no reason, except that I'm afraid of poverty, let's say, I don't know how I'm going to take care of kids. That's something the Muslim scholars have almost agreed upon that is not allowed. That's not allowed. A person can organize, basically, the issue of pregnancy, giving breaks. When it reaches to a certain age, she is not recommended for her to get pregnant. The doctor said that's not recommended for such women to get pregnant. That's another case. But just like that, because I'm the one who's taking care of the house, I don't see this as an excuse or a legit reason for her to stop having pregnancy. If this been said, also I have an advice for her husband, that you should take care of your wife. And this is your responsibility to work and to earn and to provide for your wife. That's not your wife's responsibility. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give men al-qawama. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala favor men for that reason, because they are the one who should take care of the house and take care of the family. So that's something that he should work hard and to find a job to provide for his family. And I would like to say, and thank you, sister, for supporting your family and taking care of your family. That's a very noble thing of you, and I hope, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for it.
Ameen. Ameen. Brother Sai from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, he wants to know about Ya'juj and Ma'juj. He wants to know if they will occupy just one continent or the whole world.
Yes, I think that was the first caller. As for Ya'juj and Ma'juj, the hadith are very clear that they will occupy the whole entire earth. That there is nothing, nobody among the people of earth will be left, or any urban areas, until those people will come and occupy their land and take over their land. And they will kill anybody other than them. And the people, humanity at that time, the Muslims, because the only one will be left on earth at that time will be the believers. That will come after the death of basically of the fall Messiah, the Dajjal. and in the time of Jesus, in the time of Al-Mahdi. So the Muslim will be hiding inside caves and in the mountains, that they will never dare to come down to urban areas. They will leave the whole entire world for them. So that shows us that basically they will occupy the whole entire world.
Okay, and he wants to know if there's a contradiction, because it is said in the time of the Mahdi there will be peace and tranquility and justice, but in the time of the Dajjal there will be uproar and war and injustice. And he said, how can the two happen at the same time?
There's no contradictions, and we always should think of the Prophet ﷺ's hadith in the best manners. As Ali radiallahu anhu said, فَظُنُّوا بِهِ الَّذِي هُوَ أَهْنَاهُ وَأَهْدَاهُ وَأَتْقَاهُ. Always think good of the Prophet ﷺ's statement. As for the period that Al-Mahdi's, it was mentioned related to Al-Mahdi that it will be full of justice and base tranquility, and this will be after the death of Dajjal, because Al-Mahdi will be alive after the death of Dajjal.
Okay, and he says, why do Imam, and I could say like yourself then, he doesn't speak about the Dajjal that often. Is it because they're afraid of mentioning about the Khilafah?
I don't see the connection between the Khilafah and the Dajjal, but I say it's very hard for a person to say that. Why Imam, they don't talk about Dajjal? That's not quite maybe, I don't know, accurate. Or I didn't have a statistic, so I wouldn't debate your claim if it's correct or not. I myself talked about Dajjal several times in my masjid. Yes, we don't talk about it often because we have a lot of other Dajjals that we talk about other than the big one that will come at the end of the days. We have a lot of false hood that it needs to be clarified. A lot of doubts need to be dealt with. And so many Muslims may be caught up with these things that happen in daily life, and to clear it, to talk about it, that's maybe forgot to talk about Dajjal. But I join my voice to yours and say we should mention the issue of Dajjal, the doubts that he will bring, the desire, the basically the way he will deceive people, because we can learn a lot from it, how to face so many of the trials of today as well.
Okay, Brother Rashid from Somalia, he wants to know the role of Islam and Muslims in democratic elections.
First of all, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help my Somali brothers and sisters to first of all protect their bloods, to protect their countries, and to bring unity to them. It's really very sad what we see in the news on a daily basis about people dying left and right, people attacking each other, shooting at each other. And the last thing I want to see this dear part of the Muslim world to my heart, coming back to the old days with the civil war and the divisions and all these things that so many of the elders and people my age remember as well. So that's one thing to say. Two, I also would like to take advantage of this broadcast and give a message to all the Muslims in Somalia to put down the weapons and to take civil ways of communicating with each other. That the blood of a Muslim is forbidden, is haram. Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu arda, when he saw Al-Kaaba and he saw it so beautiful, he said, you're a very secret place or a secret building, but what is more secret than you, what is more important than you is the Muslim. The blood of the Muslim to be protected. It's been narrated that the Prophet and Nasai and others, that لَزَوَالُ الدُّنْيَا أَهْوَنُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ, that it's easier on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's eyes, the destructions of this whole entire world is easier than killing an innocent Muslim or killing your Muslim brothers. So this war is not going to bring any good to anyone. I ask you all to put the weapons down and use the language of mercy, the language of wisdom, that this will take you somewhere. And if this has been said, if elections in your country will determine who is really the people want to lead, and they will elect people based on a qualification that according to the Quran and Sunnah, yes, that's a legal process, and it is acceptable, The word democratic elections, it's a vague word. It's a vague word. The concept of choosing your leaders, that the Muslim society or community have the right to determine who will lead them, who will be their leaders. It's an Islamic concept, is a correct concept, and it is known in the Islamic laws, books of fiqh, as al-bay'ah, and the books of theology and aqidah, they talk about it, and so on. So if this is the case, yes it is. We encourage that. I would love to see a government to come in place that the people, the public, the masses in Somalia will agree upon and will choose, inshallah ta'ala.
Okay, and Somalia was known for the memorizers of the Quran, subhanallah.
Yes.
Okay, Sister Hadi from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, she wants to know if it's okay for her to travel without a mahram, but with a family who's a friend, which consists of the wives and daughters, and with the permission of the mahram. Is this okay?
The general rules, sister, what the Prophet ﷺ said, لا يحل لامرأة تؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر. It's not permissible for a woman believing in Allah on the Day of Judgment to travel without mahram. That's generally speaking. This is the rules that just be the default rule.
Yeah.
But in cases, especially in modern days, where we found, for example, she need to, her father, her parents, the children never saw their grandparents in their life, and the husband now work, for example, in a country that he cannot offer. He cannot completely, doesn't have enough money to travel with them and come back to work. Most of companies, they wouldn't give like a 2 months vacations or so on. In cases like this, or your family member is sick, your aunt, your uncle, your father, your mother, your son sometimes, your husband is sick and you want to go visit him. In this case, I personally see it is permissible for the woman to travel with the following condition. One, a permission from her wali, her father or her husband. Two, that she will go, she knows how to travel. She knows how to manage traveling. So if she's traveling to the west, she knows how to speak, or there is a safe path, basically, for her to reach her destiny. And there is a need, an absolute need for that. Not for just, you know what, I just want to have fun or a vacation or anything. No, if you want to have vacation and fun, you know what, your husband should be with you. Your basically mahram should be with you.
Okay, her second question is about making a decision, and she's actually asking about istikhara, where the Prophet ﷺ advised to seek advice from people and from friends, and then making the salah istikhara. She says in her tradition, they also tell her to write it on pieces of paper, her decisions, and then put it all together and just choose one, and whatever she chooses, that's the one from Allah. Is there anything authentic?
No, as for picking a paper or picking a straw or anything like that, that's not from the practice of Islam. That's remind me of the practice of the Jahiliyyah, the ignorant days. You pick straw and whatever, you go left or you go right. Islam is a very logical religion. It's really, first of all, you make your decision based on studying those two options. You want to choose a career, you want to choose a husband or for your daughter or for yourself or a wife or a cars, 2 cars you want to buy. Islam doesn't say you go just make istikhara which car I buy. No, Islam tells you look at your budget, the compare between this car and the other one, look at the advantage, disadvantage, and based on this you make the decision. After you make the decision, you pray the istikhara, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless your decision. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect you from the evil of that decision that you made. Let's say you choose the wrong one. You ask Allah to protect you from it, and so on. As for picking a paper, no, this has no base in Islam.
Okay, she also says that when someone think bad, or think that something, her idea or a bad thought comes to her mind, it's not recorded by the angels. So what about a person who does dhikr in his mind? Is it recorded by the angels?
The Prophet ﷺ said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not hold us accountable for any evil thoughts unless we talk or act. And in the other hand, the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever intend to do good deeds but he or she never did it, Allah will reward them for it. Allah will reward them for it. I remember she asked something about the dhikr. When she say dhikr silently, would be rewarded for it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Man dhakarani fi nafsi, dhakartuhu fi nafsi." Whoever mentioned me within himself, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will mention him as well. So the ulama said, when he said within himself, not necessarily by pronouncing or moving his tongue, just by heart or thinking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's one form of dhikr.
Okay, Dr. Walid Al-Basyuni, Jazakallah khair for your time on Ask Huda, and we do hope to have you many more times, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay, to all the viewers who tuned in today and who called, we would like to say Jazakallah khair. And don't forget, if you have a question, you can write to us at ask, that's ask@huda.tv. And don't forget, you can support Huda by just writing to us, support@huda.tv. Or you can write to us and visit our website, www.huda.tv. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest.